Well, that's a very, very interesting question, Kumurad, because I've been here for ukupaila years, as they would say. I stepped foot on this campus in the year 1970. 1970, that would be, you do the math, it's like 50, going on 51 years almost here upon this campus. And over the years, chapel programs have evolved as it should, in terms of what is the content, God's message and God's word, God's aloha, God's love is always the same. But how it is conveyed, how it is presented, how is it able to be internalized, evolves over time. And it has since 1970. When I came to this campus in 1970, not far from this place, I was dropped off to begin my life here at Kamehameha. And my dad dropped me off one early August morning coming from Maui, and we caught a cab. Cab brought us up here to the campus. And you know, this place is such a big place, yeah? You know, from us kuainas, so to speak, you know, coming from a small place, Lahaina, Maui. And so stepping foot on this campus was a very, very big step for me. And you know what my dad told me? He says, okay, son, he dropped me off. The taxi was still waiting at Bishop Hall, no more than 15 minutes. Dad said his goodbye. Okay, son, don't forget, call your mom. Make sure you call her, let her know you okay. And Daddy will see you in about 4 or 5 months. And that was it. He turned around, jumped in the cab, and took off. And that was it. That began my life here at Kamehameha. Now, I grew up as a Buddhist over in Maui. And it wasn't until I started attending Bishop Memorial Church services through Kahu Kaupu that I became familiar with the Christian faith. And what I was able to do was understand truly what it means to be a recipient of God's grace, God's amazing grace that we know of as loko maikai. And through God's grace, I was able to receive the gospel, and thus began my journey to become a Christian. I became baptized in 1973 in the Girls' School auditorium where chapel services were being held at the time. And thus began my Christian faith journey as a junior here at Kamehameha. And it has evolved ever since. What I'm trying to get at is that, you know, many things have changed over the years, except God's message of His love and His grace will always be the same. It is how it is presented that needs to be relevant to contemporary terms for today's haumana. Today we have a lot of contemporary things like worship songs. We never did all of those kinds of things back when I came to school at Kamehameha. It was very, very traditional. We sang all the himenis and the Christian hymns. But over the years, we try to be more relevant to today's contemporary society, as well as to be able to continue to share our roots of being what it means to be a Christian Hawaiian. Yeah, those values still continue as a very, very important part of our life here at Kapalama.